It happens to all of us almost every single day. You mention a specific product in a casual conversation, and minutes later, an advertisement for that exact item appears in your feed. The common assumption is that the smartphone is using its microphone to record and analyze every word spoken in its vicinity. This chart compares the cost of processing global audio data against the average ad revenue generated per user. Continuously recording, uploading, and analyzing 24/7 audio for billions of people requires a server infrastructure that costs far more than the resulting advertising is worth. The economic reality of data storage has forced tech companies to ignore the microphone in favor of a passive, automated, and much cheaper alternative. This surveillance mechanism is operational in most modern households, functioning without the need for human speech or high-cost data processing. In a standard living room, a smart TV and a smartphone typically sit within a few feet of each other. To a human, the room is silent. To the devices, the room is filled with active signals. This communication relies on ultrasound beacons. Commercials and streaming apps are embedded with high-frequency audio tones inaudible to human ears. Smartphone apps listen specifically for these frequencies, ignoring human speech to focus on these digital signatures. Once detected, the devices perform a handshake, confirming proximity. This handshake places your identity and your current environment into the same data packet. These signals bridge the gap between separate gadgets, allowing them to report on your physical location and the media you are consuming simultaneously. The physical connection in the room is only the first step in a larger data synchronization. When the handshake is logged, the system cross-references the IP addresses of both the television and the smartphone. This confirms that the person holding the phone is the same person currently watching the specific program or advertisement on the screen. This allows your mobile browsing history and television viewing habits to be synchronized. If a car commercial plays on the TV while you scroll a news app, the system logs your exposure to that brand at that exact second. The goal is to build a web of context, identifying not just who you are, but exactly what is happening in your immediate environment. Every ultrasound, handshake, and synchronized session is added to a centralized profile that tracks your movements and habits over years. As this profile grows, it moves from logging what you have done to calculating the statistical probability of what you will do next. When you talk about a product and see an ad for it moments later, it is often because the model has tracked your proximity to other people, your location history, and your recent media consumption. It calculated that you were likely to discuss that topic before you even began the conversation. This digital replica of your life uses the environmental context provided by ultrasound to simulate your needs with high precision. Common privacy measures like disabling microphone access do not prevent this type of tracking, as the system relies on the broader environmental data shared between devices, rather than recorded speech. Modern surveillance has moved past the need to record your history. That smartphone in your pocket is constantly taking notes. Every time you pick it up, it functions as a corporate surveillance tool, logging your behavior with surgical precision. Data brokers sweep up these daily habits, your web searches, the stores you visit, even the articles you linger on, and compile them into a digital avatar. They package and sell access to this invisible profile, allowing advertisers to predict your next move. The mechanism that holds this profile together is a specific identifier buried deep in your settings, the IDFA, or Identifier for Advertisers. This chart shows how the IDFA acts as your digital fingerprint. Because this string stays constant, it links a shopping cart in one app to a web search and a video on another platform. It turns disconnected actions into a traceable history. You can break that chain by resetting the identifier. By pulling the Limit Ad Tracking lever in your settings, you're not just clearing a cache, you're generating a brand new ID. This forces a digital identity transplant. When you reset this string, tracking networks lose the thread they've been following. To their algorithms, the old profile simply stops updating, and a new, blank one begins. Wiping your digital name is a critical first step toward privacy. But without a name, trackers can still identify you if they know exactly where you are. An anonymous identity provides little protection if a tracker can see the exact coordinates where you sleep every night. Most apps request precision location by default. This high-resolution data allows companies to exactly map your daily routines. identifying your home, your office, and your frequent stops with enough accuracy to know which floor of a building you're on. This map shows the standard, a razor-sharp pin dropped directly on your roof. The approximate location setting changes this. Instead of a precise coordinate, you feed the app a 5-mile radius. You still get local weather, but trackers only see a massive, vague boundary. By replacing precision with proximity, you've removed the geographical pillar of your digital profile. The deepest level of tracking doesn't care what you buy or where you go. It looks at how you physically interact with the device in your hand. This is handled by research and usage sensors, a layer of hidden telemetry that logs your physical behavior. This wireframe shows how the phone's gyroscopes and accelerometers track micro-movements. By analyzing how you tilt the screen or the rhythm of your walking gait, algorithms can make educated guesses about your mood, your attention span, or even your level of intoxication. You can sever this link by disabling these specific behavioral sensors in your privacy menu, cutting off the stream of movement data. Locking down these sensors stops data brokers from quantifying your physical state, dismantling the third pillar of your digital profile. By systematically addressing your identity, your location, and your behavioral data, you have significantly disrupted the tracking process. Without this constant influx of raw data, the monetization engine begins to starve. Your digital avatar is no longer updated with high-fidelity information. This creates a state of digital ghosting. While no device is a complete black box, you are now utilizing the technology without providing the detailed insights that allow the technology to utilize you. You become a much smaller target. By blinding these tracking methods, you've reclaimed a level of privacy most users unknowingly surrender. If a service is free, you are the product being sold. Stop being the product. Subscribe to Hactually.